Hello and welcome to my channel. Well, this is going to be like a ramble, a Sunday morning ramble. It's not necessarily going to cover flashlights completely or anything like that, or knives. It's just, who knows. I was thinking about the making of DinoNet, and how I come up with the different voices and all this stuff. Those voices have always been in my head. I don't know how other people's brains work and stuff like that, but um, I've always had a running conversation going on in my head with myself, and sometimes it's uh, interesting, and other times it's just it's noise. I don't know. It's not really schizophrenia or anything like that. I know what that is. Where people hear voices that are not really there and stuff. I know that I'm generating these, but it it is kind of that way. But anyways, when I started doing these guys and the different voices and everything, it gave me an outlet for these things that if you have voices in your head and stuff. I don't want to make light of anything that somebody has a serious condition or something. It's just the way I've managed. I've been able to manage this throughout my life without any therapy or doctors and stuff like that. I just figured out. Um, This is the way my brain is working, and this is the way I can entertain them. So with these, when I do these things, some people might think it's designed to be silly, but I'm not doing this. I'm not forcing it. It just comes natural. Just like with the when I do the Williams Wild westerns and stuff. Um, it's a take off of the Mysteries Science Theater 3000 thing, where a guy's sitting there, you know, uh, watching a movie with some puppets, and they're criticizing stuff or changing the dialogue. It's not something new. It's just something I've always done, and I do anyway. I entertain myself that way. But I was thinking back, like some people are growing up with cell phones. They were born, with having a cell phone, the internet, Google, all this other access. And they're going to view the way that I lived and everything as a way I look at the westerns and stuff a lot of times. I look at the a primitive, like a cabin and stuff, where somebody thinks, all right, we got the good life, They got a little farm and they got a little cabin and it's country life, you know? And yeah, all that's interesting, everything, but you start thinking, all right, what are you going to do to entertain yourself? I mean, it's got to be boring. There's no radio, there's no TV there, there's well, part of it, I think, from back then was just living took a lot of effort, just surviving. I mean, you didn't have time for a lot of that. You sat down maybe when the sun went down over a fire, maybe read a book if you could read or something, or primitive music, maybe started playing a banjo or a guitar or something. But yeah, a lot of the energy, I think, was just spent trying to stay alive. And we take that for granted. As each generation goes along, life gets a lot easier. And so people would, I think, I'm pretty sure, a lot of people that are born recently, uh, you know, uh, would look back and say, how did you get by without an internet, without a phone that you could carry with you at all times, and just call anywhere in the world and do anything you want? How did you get by like that, without that? Well, we managed, I mean, yeah, sometimes it's difficult. Like you drive down the road and you don't know how to motive repair and your car breaks down. You were at the mercy of eventually maybe a cop car would come by, but you had no way to call anybody. You just have to sit there, if they had emergency blinkers or flashers, you'd have your emergency blinkers on, maybe with your hood up, and hope that maybe a serial killer didn't come by and you know, get their next victim or a robbery. Uh, things were different. That didn't happen as much for some reason. I mean, it happened, but it didn't happen as much. Um, so yeah, one of the things I was thinking about on these flashlights is what they define as tactical. You know, does it have a crenulated bezel or not? You know, I like a crenulated bezel for a couple of reasons. Yeah, it has a finer, you know, the smaller surface area you got, the more force you're going to be able to put on something. But the main thing is if you goof up and you turn your bright flashlight on and leave it like that, and it doesn't have temperature regulation or anything, you could have an accident. You could have an accident. And Murphy's Law, if it can happen, it will happen, you know. And so that kind of prevents that because with this one, this is a reverse click. I'm going to talk about click switches too on torches or flashes. See that? You can't really tell that that's on. This one's off. It looks like it's on just because of that shine. This one's on. It's not hot or anything. You know, and different flashlights have sensors. You know, like some old lights have proximity sensors where if it's on there, it won't let you do that. But still, tactical flashlights. All right, now, for it to be tactile, a lot of people say you need immediate access to turbo SOS. Well, this particular light is what they call a reverse clicky. All right, so you don't have a momentary on, which I think is, I think you would need if you think any kind of tactical situation. Here's my thoughts on it. Moonlight, not an echo, a moonlight mode would be good to have in any tactical situation. I've discussed this before because sometimes you don't want to destroy your night vision. 10 lumens, I think, is what this one has on it. It's good, you know. I mean, I compared it to a 1 lumen. Let me get it out. The guy I carry around all the time. This guy in 1 lumen, it's a thrower, and it's very useful. This one puts out a beam pattern that's similar, but wider. But look at this guy. Now, who's tactical? I mean, this guy's got a crenulated bezel. You know, have a tail switch. He's got a side switch. You know, so that's what a lot of people get torn apart. Find out whatever works for you. But for me, my thought on the reverse clicky switch, I've tried. I switched FC12 with it and everything, and you do get the momentary feature with it. So I mean, if they offer these tail switches separately, you could just get one for your flashlight, and you've eliminated one problem. Then you can't eliminate the problem of not having a moonlight mode on this particular flashlight. This is the TD02. I got it on sale, and I didn't do an unboxing or anything because I just wanted to use it and mess around with it and see how it is, you know, before I actually say anything. Because my first impressions were it's similar to all the it's similar to this guy in the machining and features and everything. It's just a little bit more grippy and compact. It, you know, it doesn't have that crenulated bezel. So here's the 2 and the 3. This one has that rotary switch in the tail. And of course, this one has a different type of switch. And a very simple user interface for those people that don't like Anduril and all this other stuff, you know. The usual stuff, you know, the very good charging port cover. I don't know about the width of this. And, you know, if you see a lot of these where they don't fit, the charging thing won't fit like a C-to-C type cable or something like that. If it was, I think this, I don't know if this one is, sorry. I'm just talking about something else right now. But you can trim those down. You know, just trim one side, whatever is too thin or, you know, too thick. It's usually plastic housing, unless it's, you know, a metal one and everything. And it'll fit in there. But that is one issue that a lot of times they have. I think a better design feature, we're going to talk about what could be and what is and everything. I give Workhos credit, you know, because they're trying. I mean, any first model. Remember the Model A? Nobody does, right? Model T or whatever. Uh, yeah, things evolve and they're trying. They listen to feedback. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is where I think there's a disadvantage. I can't see very many advantages, but there's a disadvantage with. Let's say this is a tactical flashlight, right? And you're doing something like you're going to clear a house, room to room, and you want to check each room. With a with a momentary on, did you hear anything? No. This one switches modes by just, cycling from to tail switch. But once you found your mode, whatever, and you click, it stays on. That's for forward clicky. You hear that click? Let me hear. With a reverse clicky tail switch, with this tactical flashlight the way it is, if you're just going to want to momentary clear each room, yeah, you're giving away the position with the light and everything, but with a click, you're giving away position with the light and sound. And you say, hey, you said tactical, right? Tactical flashlight. I could easily see a situation where you would want to silently check each room with just a hit, of the light. You can't do that with this. And hear that? You'd have to do that at each time. Now, that may not sound like much. It depends on the ambient background sound and everything. But if there's a potential burglar in your house or something, and you're checking and you want to make sure, click, 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 and it doesn't sound like necessarily a slide or anything, like something that the intruder might be afraid of. You're just giving your position away for no reason. Simply because of the limitations of your flashlight. So that's one thing. That's one thing against it. Now, I can see a positive about it is, besides it being a tail switch and got a good spring, it's not going to momentarily come on in your pocket. But with a forward click momentary type thing, if it did come on, it's under spring pressure. It should come back off. And if you push hard enough to engage it, it's a pretty long throw. This is the FC12. But so that's one thing, about what is tactical, what makes it a tactical flashlight. Usually it's a simple user interface, access to the highest mode output. Usually their tactical settings are strobe, which I'm going to talk about, and a turbo. A tactical mode setting on this one, where is it? There's like a daily and a tactical. I got the wrong flashlight. No wonder. On the TD03. On the daily setting, you can just step through the different modes, and I like this E switch on it. I wish they would have used that on this, if at all possible. Like E switch feels a lot better, but it's got to have wings to be tactical, right? But in this mode right here, the tactical mode, again, like originally it had little crosshairs in it, but oh yeah, it is kind of like a scope. You see that? Yeah. With that one, it comes in on turbo. All right. Well, if it's a tactical flashlight, right? Tactical. Have this as the first mode. Have that as the first mode. If you're going for the tactical market, that would be my thing. And also try to check your engineering out. See if you can come up with a better way. This is a perfect switch. I love the way it feels mechanically and everything. I love that. I love the way it's positive, and I love this recess in here. It's a metal switch. It's not a rubber, so you get it right away. And this is your strobe. I should have warned you before. I'll have a little thing up here about that. But with strobes, all right? Now, yes, look at that. He came on because this guy has a magnetic base, and he's sitting right next to him. See? That's what I mean about how you could just be storing your flashlights like that. And then that's on high. If you turn it this way, it'll come on in turbo, I think. Yeah. See? Does anybody mention that? Does anybody talk about that in a lot of other videos? No, I'm not trying to brag or say, oh, gee, look what I found. I'm a genius or anything. No, I found this out by accident because I thought I was going nuts. Again, like if you've got voices in your head and you already know you're kind of crazy, if you start seeing things too, you're already hearing things, but if you start seeing things too, then you could be going further nuts. It's possible to go further crazy. But anyways, I'm not doing any of that right now. I just wanted to say on a strobe, it can disorient like dogs. I've seen dogs come up in videos where people are happy. And I have used a flashlight without a strobe. I have used a strobe on a cat that was starting fights out there. I think it was midnight. Was fighting somebody, and I spotlighted him from the balcony of the pool and broke it up. But if you've ever been in a situation where you've used the spotlight, it can be disorienting for you also, activating it, because everything's like stop motion, and when Peppy got knocked over. Well, let me strobe you. Watch out with strobe warning here. How do I do strobe with this one? All right, you push in, I already have it on, and then you double tap. Like double short, stroke it. But yeah, it's already got to be in, and it's in whatever mode you were in. I didn't want to do kind of like a complete review, but I think that you can set this up so that your first mode that comes on is turbo, and then with a short press, it's the echo, which is like low. So you got your maximum and minimum output right there. And in all of these modes, you can just double click. I'm not going to do it just to strobe the hell out of you. It compares a lot to the Workhose as far as like beam patterns. The WK03, because it's a TIR type of lens. I've already talked 17 minutes on this one. I didn't want it to be completely about flashlights. I was going to say, this is how I come up with the different voices for Danny Dino and stuff like that. But that was basically it. It didn't take that long to discuss that, because that's where that comes. That's no big secret, man. I'm not using any special ingredients, for this stuff. It's all comes out naturally, But anyway, getting back to flashlights and tactiles, this one's pretty cool. I have, look at this guy. I mean, this is like a AA size, and this is an 18650 size. 18650, 18650, right? These two guys are throwers on my right, and these two guys are, well, this one is supposed to be kind of like a thrower, and it is. It's got the deep. It fools you, because I can sit here and look at this and pull out the TS11 with a total TIR, and it'll give you a spot. It'll give you a spot like this. Let me see. This one you got to turn it. This one's a tactical mode. I don't remember how to get it out of tactical mode, but and I got a manual. I just don't want to dig it up. But you got two modes in tactical, like a medium and a turbo. So, but I was trying to get like a medium or something lower than that. But you got like a big circle with a little bit of flood. We got to turn off that switch. With this guy, oh, he's in lockout. With this guy, see, he's in moonlight, 1 lumen. You get like a little spot, that can brighten up in a nice, it's a thrower. This guy gives you like it's like a Baton 3 type of pattern, or a Workhorse 3. And this guy's trying to do a combination. And it's trying to do a spot flood. And it's not bad. I don't know. I can't decide. So I usually have all of them available. And usually one of them works for whatever I'm trying to spotlight from the balcony. And for just carrying around, even though this guy, like I said, it's got that magnetic issue, I like the way it feels. Now this one's a little bit more compact. Doesn't stick out quite as far. Doesn't have that problem, but it has a different issue going on that I can partially fix with this, but I can't fix the moonlight portion of it. 10 lumens, I think moonlight should be incorporated in any tactical flashlight. That's just my opinion. It's my 2 cents. It's my channel. I can say what I want. But yeah, I think moonlight would be good to have in any tactical situation because of a bunch of reasons that you will find out if you're ever out in a dark situation and you don't know about your surroundings, whether it's hostile or not. You shine a bright light around. It's just one of the many ways you can be found out, but still, the less light you use, the less light you're going to destroy your night vision. And a lot of times it takes a little while for it to come back, man. You get hit with 10 lumens, accidentally glares off a spoon or something like that. Bolster comes back in your eye. Yeah, your night vision is going to be a lot more messed up than if it was like 1 lumen coming out of a little thing. 1 lumen, non-tactical, 1 lumen. Well, this one's considered. I don't know if you consider this guy tactical. He's not in the TD, he's in the TS. Maybe that's for small. I don't know. Anyway, I've rambled on too long. My thoughts on crenulations are, if you ever need it, I'm sure this will probably break glass probably just as well as that one will. And as far as damage to a person's face, I'm sure this one will. Actually, this little guy's got bigger surface area than these other ones. He's not even in the tactical line, right? TD. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe T stands for tactical. Tactical duty. Tactical small. Tactical toughie. Yeah, they keep coming out with different ones, and I like that in a company. I like the different user interfaces, and like I said, the different potential problems that switches can have. Do we have him in here? Where is he? He's over here. You got to get him just right. You got to get the combination just right. Randomly. He's showing off. You can't make me turn on. Yes, we can. We can. We know how to do it. Yeah. So, yeah. There you go. I played long enough. I've wasted enough of your time playing with my flashlight. See, that's another thing. This is how I entertain myself, right? Do I have anybody in here? No. Now, I had a friend come over the other day, a coworker that I used to work with, and we talked for a while, and he was talking about, he was asking me about things about my life and stuff, like what was going on, and I just started talking, and, about my past, what I've gone through, and, yeah, I thought, I don't need a lot of other people around. I don't mind other people around, but if you get where you're with other people and you've been in isolation, or, just talking to yourself with the TV or video games, yeah, you can get kind of stir crazy, but I'm already crazy, so it's just stirring it up. So what? Anyway, like I said, I don't want to make light of mental illness, because it is something that many times is treatable. You don't have to go through all that stuff. But I learned long ago that I can't get away from my own mind. It's there. I mean, I just can't get away from it. So I have to learn how to deal with stuff like that. And it's not telling me to do stuff I shouldn't do. And if it is, I know which voice it's coming from. You know. Uh, so uh, you manage things. However you manage things, as long as you're getting along. I don't have any felonies, records, stuff like that. So I seem to be doing okay. I'm not one of these guys that's just popping off, for no reason. Uh, but anyways, yeah, I've talked too much. Like I said, thank you for watching and have a nice day.